What's happening, Reds? This is the LFC transfer room. I'm Jay. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to do a video on potential replacements for Sadio Mane because it does look like he'll be leaving the club. So we'll go over 5 players that could potentially replace him, and we'll also have some honourable mentions who could also potentially replace him. So before we do go over the players, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and that you do like the video. And if you've got any suggestions on players you'd like to see replace Mane or who you think would be a good replacement, then obviously leave some comments for us. So let's get started with some of the potential replacements. First up's Darwin, who we've been linked with for quite some time. Nearly was a Liverpool legend on the last day of the season already when he put 2 past City, but obviously they couldn't finish it. So Bowen this season got 15 goals and 11 assists. 3 of them goals were in the Europa League and 1 assist was also in the Europa League. Now, some of the benefits of signing Jared Bowen would be that he's obviously already played in the Premier League. He's a left-footed forward, which we only currently have Mo Salah, who's left-footed on the forward line. So it adds a bit more versatility to the front line if he were to sign. Some of the negatives about Bowen, he's 25, so it's not as if he's old, but he's not very young, the youngest player that's available on the market. Also, he obviously doesn't have Champions League experience either. He's only played in the Premier League, so he's not been tested at the highest level yet. So they're some of the only real cons. He's a very good player, and I'm sure someone Liverpool will be looking at with his stats. So the next player that we'll look at a potential replacement is Christopher Nkunku. Now, Nkunku's 24 years of age. He scored 31 goals this season and had 13 assists. So 7 goals were in the Champions League, 4 were in the Europa League, and 20 were in the League League One. 13 of the assists were in the league, and 1 assist was in the UEFA Champions League. Now, the pros of Christopher Nkunku: 1, you've just heard his numbers there, they're absolutely outstanding. One of the big things about Nkunku as well is his versatility. He can play anywhere across the front line effectively, and he can also play in the false 9 or number 10 role. So he really is an exciting prospect. Also just won Bundesliga Player of the Year, which obviously he's got some stiff competition there, so that goes to show just how good a player he is. The only real cons, I think, of signing Nkunku is he would command a very high fee, and I imagine there's going to be a number of clubs across Europe that are going to be asking the question if he's available, so it could turn into a bit of a bidding war. He does have Champions League experience, and he's very versatile, so the pros kind of outweigh the cons for myself, so I think he's someone Liverpool should definitely be looking out for. So next on the list is Danjuma from Villarreal. Obviously, he was at Bournemouth previously, and again, before the Villarreal move, he was strongly linked with a move to Liverpool. Since going to Villarreal, he's gone on strength to strength. This season, he scored 16 goals in total and has 3 assists. So 10 of them goals were in the league, and 6 of the goals were in the Champions League. He also got 1 assist in the league and 2 in the Champions League. So some of the pros for Danjuma: he has played in England, albeit in the Championship, but he'd be used to that physicality. He has international experience, and he's also played in the Champions League now as well for Villarreal. In terms of cons, there isn't too many for Danjuma, to be fair. He's 25, good age. Obviously, he's only been at Villarreal for 1 year, so there is a chance that they try and command a very high fee for him. And again, he's another exciting player that I imagine other clubs would be looking at who are looking for a forward player. So Danjuma is another one on the list, quite versatile. Like I say, he's got the experience necessary now and has played in England before. So he's another player that Liverpool could potentially look to replace Mane. Now, next up on the list is one that we've been rumoured with recently, which a lot of people obviously don't think that it's true. Other people are hopeful that it is, and that's Harry Kane. So some of the pros of Harry Kane, we don't really need to go into it. He's a prolific goal scorer, has been for multiple years now, and is likely to probably eclipse Alan Shearer's goal scoring record if he stays in the Premier League. So this season he scored 21 goals in total, 4 of them were in the Europa Conference League, and he had 9 assists in total, 8 of which were in the Premier League, 1 in the Conference League. Now, the only real con of signing Harry Kane, if you like, is he's 28 years of age. So if we were to sign him, it'd be similar to the Van Persie deal when he went to Manchester United from Arsenal. However, he is a little bit younger than Van Persie was, and he's probably a better goal scorer in truth. Obviously, the cons is now Tottenham have qualified for the Champions League, so there's a chance he'd be happy to stay, especially with Conte as manager. And obviously, Kane is going to command a massive fee if he were to leave Tottenham. So it would be hard to prize him away, I can imagine, and it might be an unrealistic target. However, if he was to sign, I think he guarantees you one of the big 2 trophies next season, because one thing he does do is guarantee goals, and he's now playing a lot deeper for Tottenham than he was previously, which I think would suit our system brilliantly. So next on the list is Darwin Nunez. We've been linked to him quite a lot recently, especially after the Champions League performances that he put in against us earlier in the season. Now, Nunez in total has scored 32 goals for the season, 26 of them coming in the Portuguese league, 6 of them in the Champions League, and he also got 4 assists in the league, but none in the Champions League. Now, some of the pros for Darwin, obviously, he's a very young lad. He's only 22. He's been banging in the goals for fun in the Portuguese league, and he does have international experience. Now, some of the cons for Darwin are obviously he's not fully proven as of yet. He's obviously played in the Champions League and he's played at international level, but no disrespect to the Portuguese league, it's obviously not as strong as some of the other leagues across Europe, such as Italy, Spain, Germany, and obviously the strongest one being the Premier League. There's also a number of clubs that are linked with Nunez: Chelsea, Man United, PSG, amongst others. And the likelihood is that Benfica are going to want a fee in excess of 80 million for him. So he is another potential replacement, but he wouldn't come cheap. And he's fairly untested compared to some of the other players that we've mentioned throughout. So they're the 5 main players who we think could potentially replace Sadio Mane. Some honourable mentions for other players that we could potentially look at. We've been linked with Serge Gnabry, who's only just he's 26. He's soon to turn 27. He's got 14 goals this season, 3 of which were in the Champions League, and he's got 5 assists in the league and 1 assist in the Champions League. Now, he's out of contract soon, so he's likely to command a low fee. And with Bayern Munich being his club, there's obviously a good chance some sort of compromise can be reached between the 2 players. He's a very versatile player, played many years in the Champions League, won everything with Bayern Munich, and obviously he's a regular for Germany as well. So he is very much a proven player, albeit it didn't go too well for him when he was in the Premier League at Arsenal and West Brom. Some of the other players that would also go on this list would be Rafinha. We've been linked with him quite a lot, obviously, over the last year or so. Pros again, he's at a good age, meets the profile. He's also left-footed. Like I said, we only currently have 1 left-footed in the team. He scored 11 goals this season and got 3 assists. The only negative really for Rafinha is he's maybe only played in the Premier League for 2 seasons. He doesn't have Champions League experience, although he has played for Brazil. He's also likely to command a high fee, and he's rumoured to be on the cusp of a move to Barcelona. 2 other honourable mentions would be Anthony from Ajax. He scored 10 goals, 9 assists this season, 2 of them in the Champions League and 5 assists in the Champions League. He's a young player, an exciting talent, and he's likely to command a high fee as well. And lastly would be Florian Wirtz, who's at Bayer Leverkusen. Unfortunately, he had a bad injury last season, but prior to that, he was absolutely flying, and he's only 19 years of age. We probably have to wait to see how he recovers from his injury before we make any move, because he's likely to command a high fee. All the top clubs in Europe are watching him, so he's one to keep an eye on for the future, definitely. Well, that's it for the potential replacements for Sadio Mane. We've gone through 5 main players and obviously some others who also could potentially in the running. So before you leave, make sure you subscribe to the channel, you like the video, and also make sure that you leave your comments if you think who you'd like off that list, or if you've got any other suggestions you think would be a good fit for Liverpool. Take care, everyone.